Hello, how's it going? So this is the 162 Golf GTE S-A. The car is currently very much in use. I just used it to drop my wife off at her friend's hen party. So I'm looking after the Baba this weekend. So the Baba's still kind of not quite snoozing, not quite awake in the back seat there. But I'll show you a bit about the car here. So it's got the usual GTE features. So it's got the Golf GTI spec body kit and brakes and suspension, which gives it great performance. You've got a 1.4 litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine, and that's twinned with a 108 brake horsepower electric motor powered by an 8.5 kilowatt hour battery. So it has a few different features that are really cool. It has these kind of, which you won't get in a normal Golf, it has these wrap-around lights at the front that are like daytime running lights. They're super bright, and then you've got this sensor module here that runs the adaptive headlights. So at night it automatically dims the lights to let people see, so it doesn't blind them when you've got your full headlights on. Inside, this is the SA model, so it has the upgraded leather interior. So here it is. Here you got the leather in the front and in the back, so it's not got the tartan seats that you'd usually have. You've got leather covered steering wheel, you've got leather on the doors here, and you've got, of course, electric windows all around. You've got your climate control, and say hello. Hello, Saif. Say hello. There we go. There you go. She's very sleepy, very, very sleepy. She'd be embarrassed now that I'm showing you this. And there you got lights in the back and lights in the front there. So it's a pretty nice system, and you can see it can, like, this is a pretty big child seat, and it can very easily fit it in. In the boot, you've got a pretty decent sized boot. You can fit a lot in here. We can put a buggy right in here, and then because it's the GTE, the battery is under the rear seat, so the fuel tank is right here. And then we have, well, I've got enough space to carry my climbing gear, and I've got the cables for the car. So this is the fast charging cable that you can charge like on those ESP chargers in the street, or you've got your tire changing kit and your tools. Of course, if I need more boot space, I'll just press this button and this whole thing just slides forward. I'm not going to do that now because the baby's in the back. But it's really, really easy to collapse the seats, and there is lots of room in the back. So we've got the steel covered pedals, and then we've got leather covered steering wheel. And I will just start the car up. I'll pull the seat back so you get a better view. Okay, so the engine pops up on there, and I'll just move the steering wheel so you can see. So the dash, this is a UK import, came from Northern Ireland. So we've got the charge and energy usage on the left. You've got your rev counter here, and then you've got your speedo on the right with your fuel gauge right there. So right now you can see I've got the air conditioning on, and it's saying that it has, what would you say, like 3/4 battery, and it's 29 kilometers remaining. And I'm just going to turn the air conditioning off by just pressing off here, and you can see it goes off there, and now it jumps right up to 35. So like you can see, it makes a big difference to have the air conditioning on there. The air conditioning really drains the battery when you're driving, but also you want to be comfortable while you're driving, so you're going to keep the air conditioning on. That's what I would say. That's what I do anyway. Then you've got your headlights here. They're automatic headlights. You've got your windscreen wipers. They're automatic windscreen wipers. It's a great system. And you've got like a nice little storage area here, cup holder, got storage in here. You've got your coin storage in here for tolls. You've got your little storage under here. I've got a receipt in there. Familiar with the Golf, you'll be familiar with the interior of this car, except of course it's, in my opinion, nicer because it's leather covered, and you're not got those tartan seats, which some people love. Personally, they're not my cup of tea. Set to adaptive cruise control, so you just say I want to go like 100 kilometers an hour. It'll say, okay, I'm going to go 100 kilometers an hour. When there's space, it'll accelerate to 100 kilometers an hour. When there's someone ahead of you, it'll slow yourself down. And then what it'll do is because it has lane assist, it can keep you in the lane as well. But I wouldn't rely on that. It doesn't want you to rely on that. You should still drive the car. The adaptive cruise control is just for controlling acceleration. Now this lady is telling me that she wants to go inside and get her bottle, so I better stop it there. But it's a great wee car. Okay, I'll go now. Okay, Papa's asleep, thank God. Charging port is at the front of the car. It's right here in the Volkswagen logo. So you just press this button, pops off, grab your charger, take the lid off the charger. It's just a standard 3-pin plug charger. Plug it in the front, and the light goes orange, and then when it's charging it goes green. Now I've got it set up inside the garage that it only charges at night, so I only use the night electricity, so it's not charging right now because that light hasn't gone green. But once it goes green, you know it's definitely charging, which is great. It's receiving power. So in terms of drive modes, you have 3 modes really. So you press the E mode button, and what that does is it puts it in electric mode, so it's fully electric, not going to use any petrol at all. Then if you want to use hybrid, you just press this twice, and then up on the screen it'll go hybrid drive. And now what it's going to do is it's going to use the petrol and the electric motor, which is brilliant. And then if you press it 3 times, it goes into battery charge. Now it won't let me do that because the battery isn't empty enough, but it'll only let you do that if the battery is quite empty, and then it'll start charging the battery. Then the final mode is the kind of special mode, which is GTE mode. So it's for the boy racers out there, or lady racers, let me not discriminate. And what this does is it effectively turns on the electric motor and the petrol motor. You'll see the rev counter here will shoot up, and it'll change gears much later. Speaking of gears, it is a 6-speed DSG dual clutch transmission. So it is automatic. You just pull this yoke down, and it won't let me do it, of course, because I'm not got the car on because it's charging. But you bring it down to the D, and it'll put it in drive mode, or you put it in B, and it'll use what's called the regenerative braking mode. So that is where you take your foot off the accelerator, and it starts decelerating, and using that deceleration to charge the battery. You'll see this little dial go to the left here, showing that the car is charging. So it's probably the most efficient way to drive in B mode. Personally, I like to drive in D mode. I think it's great. It's like driving a normal petrol or diesel car because you get great coasting ability. It uses the electric motor just a tiny bit, just to keep the speed up as soon as you decelerate. So it's really, really good if you're coming down hills or anything. It's very, very satisfying. And in terms of the in-car entertainment, you have your radio. You've got loads of different stations in here. You can store your stations. I like it's very responsive, this system. I've never found any lag or anything like that. You can also connect in your phone or any other kind of Bluetooth device, and then you've got your phone ability. You can store 4 numbers there. So it's super easy to use. If you're driving, of course, do focus on the road, but it's far easier to use than a phone when you're searching for somebody, which is really cool. And text messages is an opportunity there. I've never used it, to be honest with you, but you know, you can probably use text messages in there. I also like the way I haven't touched the screen. As I get closer, it reacts. It knows I'm getting closer, so it's got that, whatever that technology is called, it's in there. So you can see your departure times. You can set that up if you want to know that you're going to leave, let's say, at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. Well, it'll have the car not just charged for that time, but it'll have the air conditioning set up so it's the right temperature, so that when you're on the road, you're not using energy to actually get it to the right temperature, which is really, really cool. You can see how you've been getting on. So let's have a look if you're into this. So this is since start today, so I just did 5 kilometers down to the local pub to drop my wife off for the trip down to Carrick-on-Shannon for her hen party with her friends. So it was full electric driving. I got 28.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So not particularly efficient electric driving. I must have gone a little bit faster than normal. But we can look at the long term. So long term, this is over 3,500 kilometers. I've got 3.7 litres per 100 kilometers is the average. So that's using a combination of like longer trips where I'm using the hybrid and shorter trips where I'm just using the battery. And then since I've refueled it when I just did longer trips, apart from the one this morning, I've got 4.7 litres per 100 kilometers. And just to compare, something like a Land Rover Discovery gets 9.8 litres per 100 kilometers. Something like a BMW or Mercedes E-Class or BMW 5 Series, the 2-litre diesel, would usually get about 7 litres per 100 kilometers. So it is quite efficient, and of course it's using petrol, which is cheaper nowadays. If you have like your heated mirrors on or your heated seats on, by the way, yeah, the heated seats there, my god, I love them. It's got the heated seats on. It'll show you that you are using like 1 kilometer of extra energy that you could get if you were to turn these things off, which is cool. But you know, I'd much rather just have sometimes more comfort than an extra kilometer. You don't buy a car with leather interior that's a premium model to not use those features, but maybe some people do. And then you've got your power flow, so you can see the battery. It's showing the level of the battery there. As the engine's on, it'll show the engine drawing power. It's quite a nice system. It looks great. And then you've got your zero emission driving. It tells you how much it is, what percentage of it of your journey. So again, there's loads of different things you can look at in there. And then in this screen as well, it's got the same, so you can scroll through, look at your consumption, your range, your traveling time. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I really do like these stats. If you're into stats, it's really easy to see it. You just use the buttons on the steering wheel to just scroll through them, and it's nice and simple. So I suppose that's everything. Probably more information than anyone would really want, but I tried to be complete. If there's any other questions you have, do please let me know. Thanks a lot.